Okay, good morning and welcome everybody. We are very thankful for the time and effort you did for coming here this morning. Despite of the weather conditions we are experiencing today, we have worked a long time for this, and our lead engineer Andy has been a great asset to this team. Today we are here to unveil the first ever deep sea capable coding house in our community. We will be giving you a live tour to the area and also to serve you a sumptuous food later. By the way, here's a brief overview of our today's event. We will begin with a prayer to be followed by the singing of our national anthem. And the co-founder Michelle will introduce the ArkPad, share the key highlights and projects, and also to discuss our vision for the future. Later, we will give you a tour of the ArkPad prototype and have a launch and QIA session. I know all of you are excited to know more about the ArkPad, and without any further ado, let us all stand for a prayer, and this will be followed by the singing of our national anthem by a multimedia presentation. Please remain standing for these two consecutive numbers. I pray you be and watch us when we to be wild. Times when we don't know. Lift me up. As we go. Lead us to Okay, you may now take your seat. I would like also to acknowledge the presence of our Rizal Barangay Captain, Mr. Jomari Galabare. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Today, we are here to witness another successful project as Mr. Mitchell Fletcher, the co-founder, will introduce to us the ArkPad. May I request Sir Mitchell to give us the insights of the ArkPad. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you, Ivan. All right, I'm gonna move over here a bit. Oh, can we get the slideshow behind us? I'll give it a second. Here we go. All right, and can we go to slide? Maybe I should stand over here. Can we go to slide 4? Row 4. Slide 4. Slide 4. Keep going. One more. Oh, go back. Go back. That's it. Okay. All right. So thank you everyone for coming today. I want to take a moment first to thank our team, our entire company. At the end of the day, what you can build, what you can achieve is only as good as the team you have to work with. As a company, we have probably, I think, the best team in the world. We have the best people. They're good at what they do, and I'm very grateful for everyone that we have here today and listening in back home. So thank you guys. Uh, So let me talk about our company background for just a second. We initially, so ArkPad is part of a family of companies. One of them originally was called ArkTide, and that's based back in America. We started off in America, and then we moved to the Philippines because there's a lot more coastal real estate. We're a marine, emerging marine technologies company, so that's kind of the area that we operate in. We're all about creating new technologies. We're all about expanding existing technologies to achieve new things. So we started with ArkTide. We kind of expanded into ArkPad. We moved our base of operations here to the Philippines, which we found to be an excellent country to operate in. We're also affiliated with the Seasteading Institute. The Seasteading Institute, for those that don't know, is an organization that seeks to build permanent human habitation on the water. So the idea that you can build floating resorts or floating communities or even full floating cities. The idea is right now on the Earth, we're only using about 30% of the Earth's surface. We're only living on land. Water
can be used for farming. The water can be used for residential and commercial real estate. And so the Seasteading Institute has been part of this movement that we're a part of as well to make use of the rest of the Earth's surface, the water part that currently we're not using. So we think that floating real estate can be just as good as land-based real estate. We've developed two different modes of living on the ocean. One of them is the ArkPad, which is in the water behind me here today. The other one is called the Hexafarm. That's in Mindanao, and I'll talk a bit about that in a few minutes. And we've also developed some related marine technologies. As an emerging technologies company, we actually have a lot of different teams that do a lot of different things. So let me cover what some of those other technologies are, and then I'm going to bring us back to the ArkPad. Can we please go to the next slide? All right, so let me talk first about our chemistry team. Our chemistry team, sitting right back there, hey guys, they've done an excellent job in developing some of the technologies that I'm going to talk about here. So as a background, salt water contains a lot of different salts. It's not just the normal sea salt that you guys are all familiar with. There's a lot of different things in salt water like lithium, rubidium. There's actually gold in salt water. There's a lot of different things in there. One of the scarce resources that we need for electric vehicles in the coming decades, as more and more electric vehicles are coming into manufacturing, we don't actually have enough lithium for the batteries to power those vehicles. So one of the things that our chemistry team sat down and did was they said, okay, where are most of the world's lithium reserves? It turns out that most of the world's lithium is actually dissolved in the ocean. So we've actually developed what we call an extractor. We've developed a machine. This is still in a laboratory in Manila, but it can actually take lithium directly out of the ocean, out of salt water. There are no harmful byproducts, and it converts the lithium directly into a usable material that can be used in batteries, which is a really, really cool thing. There's no other company in the world that can do this right now. So again, just one of these emerging technologies. Same thing with rubidium. So rubidium is actually used in night vision goggles. It's used in a lot of different technologies. And again, it's a thing that most of the world's supply of it is dissolved in salt water. So our chemistry team is basically in marine science, right? They're looking at all these different valuable things that are dissolved in salt water, and they're saying, okay, how can we extract these things? And so far, the prototypes we have in these laboratories up in Manila and Cebu, they're working quite well. So again, I want to thank you guys for your hard work on these projects. Let's go to the next slide. All right, so I also want to talk, oh good, we got the gift going on here. So another project that we've worked on is the self-driving boats. You can see the small prototype up there. It's got those little orange pontoons and then a solar panel on top to give it a power source. We actually built this one a couple months ago. This boat, which you can see is on its little racetrack driving around in a pond over here. This is like a little small fish pond up in Pangasinan. It's actually capable of traveling in its current state, I think around 100 kilometers. And we want to build a bigger version of this self-driving boat that can go all the way to the West Philippine Sea. In fact, it can travel hundreds and hundreds of kilometers in both directions. Doesn't need a pilot, doesn't need anyone to steer it or drive it remotely with like a gaming controller. It's just completely self-driving. So again, this is one of these things that actually we're not the only company that has this. There are a few other companies in America that now have self-driving boats, but we're one of the few companies that have also developed self-driving boats. So thank you for our mechanical engineering team. You guys did a good job on that. Okay, let's go to the next slide. All right, so next I want to talk about our naval architecture team. Actually, most of them couldn't be here today. They're back in Cebu. But right now, their main priority, actually they have two priorities. One of them is a solar-powered yacht, which I'm not going to talk about. The other project that our naval architecture team is working on is kind of a more advanced stage of what we wanted to build here in Boracay. And this is what we call the Reef Resort. So this is a floating resort, an in-water resort. It's actually part resort and part fish farm. This is currently under construction in Samal Island. So we've already talked with, of course, the LGUs and then gotten all the things taken care of there. And this is going to be open, not at full scale. So in this artwork here, we have about 65 rooms. The version that we're going to open with should have about 18 rooms initially. It's also going to have lots of activities like boating and jet skis and things like that. But this is another one of our technologies that we're developing, a different type of floating house. Now, this one is different in two ways from the ArkPad. This one is different because A, it's integrated with a fish farm, so it produces its own food, and B, it cannot go in deep water. This has to remain in coastal waters. This can't go 20 or 30 or 50 miles from shore, which the ArkPad actually was designed to do. But still, this is our first small-scale floating house for developing long-term floating real estate in the world's oceans. So they aren't here today, but again, just remotely, I want to thank our naval architecture team and our civil engineers for working on this project. Let me give them a small round of applause. Thank you. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so now let me talk about the main thing that we're here to show off today. This is the ArkPad. Actually, it's the ArkPad C, which is our prototype. The ArkPad C is also a floating house, like the resort being constructed in Mindanao right now. But this is a single room. It's still a prototype. We have to prove that it's capable of handling the conditions that we built it to handle. It's meant to be much stronger and more sturdy than what we're building in Mindanao. It's meant to be safe and reliable. It is designed with a foam core. It actually has these things called spars. If you look in the background here, in this background image, you can see kind of a pillar going down into the water. A lot of people see that pillar and they think that that pillar goes down and touches the seafloor. But in reality, that pillar is only about 4 meters deep. The first 2 meters, the top 2 meters, are filled with a foam core, and the bottom 2 meters are filled with a concrete core. So what this means is that when very strong winds or very large waves or a typhoon interacts with or impacts this floating house, it's effectively unflippable. The center of mass is so far below the center of buoyancy that it makes it so that no matter what the weather conditions are, it cannot be flipped. The only way to damage it is if it hits another solid object, like a boat ramming into it or something like that. So in effect, this is kind of like an unsinkable floating house. And so not only is it unsinkable, we also designed it so that its spars, these columns it sits on, are meant to kind of roll over waves without leaning with the waves, which means not only will it not flip over, it won't even tilt in a typhoon. It's meant to stay perfectly upright at all times. And I know that sounds very impressive. It is very impressive when we can prove that it works. So we're just waiting for the typhoon. I'm kidding. But so it's also designed with its own freshwater tanks, septic tanks, and other waste tanks. Primarily, it has one septic tank. It actually has a few other smaller septic tanks to make it easier to manage. But the idea is that this type of floating house, this ArkPad, is meant to have zero waste enter the marine ecosystem. There should be no plastic, there should be no human waste, no urine, no food, nothing like that. It also does not need to have a cable run from land because it can produce its own electricity through solar panels. It will have air conditioning. We haven't installed the aircon in this unit yet, but we will soon. It already does have electricity. And it can actually produce its own fresh water through a desalinator because it's designed with enough surface area that the solar electric can run a desalinating plant. So effectively, if you had one of these, let's say 30, 40 miles out of the sea, you can have all of your own water, electricity, food, everything you need. And if a typhoon comes along, you know that you're not going to have your structure be destroyed. It's meant to weather the typhoon. So this is really, truly a deep sea capable floating house. And that is its purpose. It is an all-terrain floating house. And that's what we built here in Navas. In addition to that, we also say here, it can grow coral, which is true. You can actually have coral strapped to the bottom of the ArkPad, and it can grow kind of its own floating coral reefs, but that's more for a tourist attraction. It can also be good for the marine ecosystem, of course. All right, so I think I've kind of explained the purpose of the ArkPad. It's meant to be a very strong, very safe, very durable floating house that will last more than 50 years and can survive a hurricane. And based on the winds and the waves that we've seen over the last few weeks, and the fact that it has had no difficulty whatsoever going through those conditions, even while some other vessels have not managed quite so well, I think that we can see the beginnings of what we're talking about here. This thing is not going to flip over in a storm. It's going to be much, much safer than anything else out there. Okay, so can we go to the next slide? Okay, so this is just more about the design. Now, I won't go into the details too much. I won't go too much into the engineering because it gets a little bit complicated. But you can kind of see what I meant originally. If you look at this image on the right over here, you can see that shaded area on the bottom of those columns. That's the solid concrete. And then the area above that, that is the foam core. And then it has these stabilizers. It's got this kind of what we call floater rings and some other structures that are built into it. Now, what we did is we first designed it for maximum stability so that nothing could ever flip it over, nothing could ever capsize it, even a typhoon. And then we ran it in wave simulations, which are kind of taking the buoyancy and the mass of the structure, creating a digital model of it, and then putting it through those heavy conditions in a computer simulation to see how it would stack up. And the last thing that we did is we did something called FEA, or finite elemental analysis, which is where we took every single part and we kind of simulated the stresses or the tension that we would be put on it to make sure that it's not going to break. Let's go to the next slide, please. And can we click play, because this is going to be a video. This is the wave simulation that I'm talking about. Yeah, so what we have here is we have a 3.5 meter wave. That's actually 7 meters from peak to trough of this wave. So this is a wave that you would normally see only in a typhoon. This is a very, very large wave. And in this simulation, what we're imagining here is how would a boat react in typhoon conditions compared to how would the ArkPad react in typhoon conditions. And as you can see from the video, if you want to click play one more time, as you can see from the video, not only does it not flip over, but it remains relatively stable. It remains constantly upright without any leaning or pitching or twisting or anything like that. So again, just being designed for very, very rough conditions, very high durability, and a very long lifespan because of those factors. Can we go to the next slide? All right, so that's it. That's a general overview of what we designed the ArkPad for. Keep in mind that it's still in prototype stage, but we have very strong beliefs, and our naval architects have very strong beliefs that this thing will perform exactly as it's meant to perform. So if we can give one more round of applause for our naval architects. Thank you. All right, I'd like to hand it back to our host, Ivan, as I believe we are on slide 11. Go ahead, Ivan. Ivan, yeah, go ahead. I'll hand it back to him now.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Mitchell Fletcher, for the information and insights you have shared about the art world. Your hard work indeed brought up to have this successful artwork, the capable clothing house. Please give her a round of applause. Thank you so much. And also to express his gratitude and to share as well his insight, being the lead engineer of the artwork. Ladies and gentlemen, the person behind the successful artwork of the artwork, please welcome Mr. Waldo Ade Villocampo. Mr. Andy Villocampo. Again, please give him a round of applause.
Ako na pa ng kasunod. Ay, pasensya na kayo, yung aking boses. Kasi nag-English yan, mag-Tagalog tayo. Para nagkakaintindihan. Pero it will be a mix of English and Tagalog. Because for the benefit of our visitors, maybe somebody is watching from other countries, like United States, in Australia, maybe in Singapore. So I will be talking to you in Taglish. Tapos parang nagkakain ng tingan. Actually, hindi na ako masyadong poporman yung pagbati sa mga bisita. Gagawin ko na lang, magandang umaga po, o tanghali na pala. Ano magandang tanghali po sa inyo lahat? Isa sa natin sa mga taga-Nabas, mga taga-Oscar, Kap, kumusta po? Asensya na kayo, inabala namin kayo dito. Ano ba? Ang aming magiging na supplier. Sabi ko, ano pa, maraming po salamat sa pagpapautang sa amin. Meron kaming babayadan po. May utang pa kami, wala na. Madami pa. Okay. Actually, paano? I was been in ArkPad since January 2022. Accident lang po, ipagkakapunta ko dito. Those days were pandemic days, di ba? 2022. Nung panahon yun, during those days, lahat tayo halos walang trabaho. And during, before the pandemic, I was then a consultant of PIFG doing as a resource person of their sand tubing project because they are considering me expert in water supply. Kaya kung may problema kayo sa water supply sa LDO, gusto nyo ba na yung water supply, I'll be very for free. Don't worry about that. So, kunin ko muna yung kunin ko po. So, it was, sandali po. So, on January 2022, nag-apply nga po ako ng trabaho online kasi at my age, I'm already more than 60 years old. At currently, I'm 68 years old. Diba? Pero, kakaiba sa ibang 68 years old, I still have a 9-year-old baby. Yeah. Si Sir, nag-maintain. My youngest is 9 years old, grade 3. Ang eldest is grade 9 sa second wife, but my yung una kong family is both of my daughter, they are both married at saka may mga sarili ng pamilya. So it's like this. During those January 2022, I applied for a job online, baka sakaling di po ba? Wala trabaho eh. Wala na akong trabaho sa DL because there's no more training that's happening during those days because there is no face-to-face training, di po ba? During pandemic days. All of our seminars, proposals were all cancelled. At si Sir, nandiyan taga-DING, nawala lahat yun. Kaya nawala din po yung racket ko. Kasi during those days, yun lang ang aking pinagkakakitaan. But it's not that I am earned with the IRT as a resource person, giving them my, per hour as a resource person. Kakabuhin na pamilya. So I applied for a chance in, if you are familiar with onlinejob.ph, familiar kayo doon? Onlinejob.ph, marami na mga trabaho. And it happened, those days, Mr. Saster posted a job. Apply ako kay Mr. Saster, and after a week, I was being interviewed. Then after a week, I was being accepted. Yeah, Mr. Andy, you are accepted, and you will be hired as our one of the staff, and you will be having 20 hours per week. Hindi ko nasasabihin yung rate. 20 hours per week. So after a few weeks, tinawagan ako ni Mr. Mitchell, sabi niya sa akin, pwede bang mag-full time ka na? Kunwari isip-isip pa ako. Yung sa totoo lang, tuwang-tuwa. Just imagine full time, 40 hours a week. It's not bad. Okay nga to. Hindi niya receiving that much. Buhay ang pamilya ko. So, during those days, but I need to be attending meetings every day, is it? We are always on the meeting almost every day. Nakaharap ako. And it happened that my laptop then is not so powerful enough. And there are times also that I was binibiro ako nila kasi ang laptop ko hindi makapag-present ng mga pag-get. What I mean is, yung sometimes kasi you need to show to them what you are doing. No? So, It's been a year, no? It's not only me who was been with the team. We are how many? Three? One, two, three, about four in a team of engineers, no? One is from Maribeles, me and Antipolo, Cebu, something like that. And every day we are always in the meeting. Actually, this ArkPad, this is not, if you will know this ArkPad scene, ano yung A and B? There should be A, there should be B. Because we have also a design for A and O, and we have design for B. But it comes out after our design and development, it comes out that the best design will be this ArkPad scene. Just imagine what I still remember. Mr. Mitchell, your first design was a cylinder. Is it a cylinder comprising of about how many meters that is? About 3 meters, 4 meters diameter. Cylinders with 3 or 4 floors. The upper floor is above water, the 3 floors is below water. Do you know what happened, Mitchell, during that days? Immediately after our meeting, I did one prototype using PVC pipe. Then I put it in the water the way, then when I put it there, yeah, it's working. It's really working. One pipe, you can stay there. But after the simulation, it was being simulated by our architect. If ever it be constructed, hindi ka mabubuhay. Gigiwang-giwang ka doon sa loob. If ever you will stay there. It did not pass. But the thing is, we keep on developing this ARPAD. Actually, when I was first hired by Mr. Mitchell doing this floating structure, I was really kapang na-excite ka because this is a different project that I was been doing before. I was been working with the shipyard. And I was with the shipyard for 3 or 4 years with the Philippine Navy in San Point, Cavite. I was really involved in the design and development of their amphibious truck vehicle that is being used for rescue. The 005, I don't know if it's still alive exactly, but it was being used before, the 005 IBT. No. So when I was given this task, I need to recall, I need to recall my college days. I need to review this hydraulics. This is a simple matter. This is only an Archimedes principle. Sino dito ng engineering? Kabali? Yeah. Archimedes principle, the weight of the object, the weight of the object is equivalent to the water displaced. That is the only principle of doing that thing which is floating. That is the reason why all ships are floating because of this Archimedes principle. So there are plenty of competition that has been happened during the design period. Now, tatanong ko kayo, are you familiar with steady? Si steady. Bago sa pagpili ka si steady, narinig niyo, di ba? Di ba si steady? Yun yung problema sometimes. The thing that we are introducing here. Si steady is a, how do you call it? Basahin ko na lang dito. Sa tadi po ha. Okay. Ito po yung creation or create a permanent dwellings in international water. Hindi mo na kailangan kasi tawag dito, yung nagagawa ng subdivision, bilyar, kasi si bilyar, yun yung mga palaya, ginagawang bahay. Ito, gagawin mo ang inyong tahanan doon sa gitna ng tawag dito, international water. Bakit? Why? Ano rasyonado? What is the rationality of those people who wants to live in international water? Ano? Which is free from government because maybe they want to form their own government, maybe because they want to go for system. Is it? Something they want to lumayo sa kanilang bansa. Sometimes we ganun tao, no? Yung they want to be independent of established government. So, Actually, this is not only the first. Before, during 1900s, I don't know what year it is. Have you ever heard the Rose Republic in Italy? Sino nanonood sa inyo Netflix? Sino na? Try to watch the Rose Republic. The Rose Republic is it is about the idealistic engineer who built his own island off coast of Italy at dineclare niya itong nation. It was been declared as nation actually during those days. Lahat. Meron sila sarili currency, meron sila sarili flag. And it was been, people were been attracted to that place and people went there to change their nationality. But during those days, I think that is, what do you call it, military rule during those days at Italy. So ang Italy nagalit, binumbas, pinaalis sila doon at binumba yung kanilang statue. I think one person that died during that bombing, during the demolition of Rose Island in Italy. Hindi tayo kaunahan. No? And there's another one. Kung mahilig kayo sa YouTube, you can even open it now. The first sea is healers. It happened in Bangkok. Gumawa sila similar dito sa coast na, sa offshore ng Bangkok, mag-asawa, German and a native island, that islander. So what happened is that their floating house was being successful. It was been floating in Thailand for almost 1 month, but the government wants them to leave because the Thai government, no, they were being treated na bobombahin sila pag hindi sila umalis because they are threatened according to them. Those who sisters, they are threatening their country. Yeah, umalis sila. This is pop by their title, shit that. The Thai in that sister in Thailand, this pop. No, but they were in yeah. They move away. So those are some samples of the seeders. And if you want to look also, we are not the only one company who is doing this. Hindi lang kami. There's another company who is doing this, which is the name is Ocean Builders. Ocean Builders. Pero hindi hamak na mas maganda yung sa kanilang ginagawa. What they are doing is a futuristic design. Mine is a simple house, made of plywood, with solar panels, but what they are doing there is futuristic design of the floating dwellings like what we are doing. But unfortunately, during their launching, there was some accident happened. The structure nagwan structure kaya it was not been successful. So what happened? Mr. Mitchell talked to me, Andy, how about the project that we are doing? Will it, I don't think so. It will not flip. No. We are sure that this things will not flip. No, we are very sure. If there is a Titanic, according to the Titanic paper, the boat under the ship that cannot be sunk, is it that can be seen? And I heard it also from you. Unless otherwise, if this thing should be hit by a much stronger, it can be dismantled, it can be broken, but it's still floating. It's still be floating, especially those photos. Okay. Nawala. So, very po. Yeah. Actually, this is the dream of the company. What she is, what Mitchell is saying, for us to build a, this prototype, the human perfect namin yung prototype na ito. At actually, the orientation that was given to me for it that because of the sea steady. Gagawa ng community sa dagat. No? That is their wish. That is the impossible. But as I am telling you, we have some criteria of doing this. The first thing that we're been doing is that during our meetings, what we want is a project that is almost maintenance free. Maintenance free. But what I'm thinking is what materials can be used free from maintenance. Because if you will be doing steel, ano mangyayari sa steel? It will be rusted. After a year, you need to make it shredded. You know, you need to do the repainting. So that is the reason why we make use of concrete and aluminum. But what I keep on saying to these people before, because they want to make use of ultra high frequency concrete, which these people, some other people say, we don't need any more reinforcement but for concrete. But I do disagree. Because according to in our college days, especially for people who took civil engineering, study concrete, the concrete crack no matter what. That's why we are calling it reinforced concrete. Nilalagyan ng bakal para siya matibay. Di po ba? Hindi ginagawa ng structure ng konkreto na walang bakal. But the thing is, the bakal is steel. What will happen to the steel if it is being submerged in water? It will be rusted. Pag nirust siya, magkakarak, your concrete will be destroyed also. So we look for a possibility. Anong magandang materials na gamitin as reinforcement? We did research and we found out that the fiberglass reinforced plastic bars are available. We call it FRP, reinforcement bar. Kaya kung nagpapagawa kayo ng bahay, nasa dagat, FRP ang gamitin para hindi siya kinakarawa. The strength is double compared to the steel. If your steel is, you will be needing Y16 or 16 mm, you can make use only of 12 mm. Parang ganun. Mas matibay siya. Ano ba? So we make use of that one, and of course, using the aluminum. And you know what? Our concrete, normally, what is the strength of concrete we are using? What is the normal concrete we are using? 5,000 PSI, 4,000 PSI, di po ba? Sa mga building, most of the buildings, they are using 5,000 PSI, 6,000 PSI. But our concrete is I mean formula, our own formula. And we did the concrete test in the laboratory of Holcim in Manila. The Holcim, you know Holcim? Holcim is concrete cement manufacturer. Ano? Naglaan kami ng mahabang oras sa Holcim. Gumastos kami. We spent a lot of money just to reach the the strongest concrete that we can do. So our concrete team that we've been using is, kung maniwala kayo sa hindi, this is 9,000 PSI concrete. It has been tested in comparison to the laboratory and also that we have got the certificate of this concrete. That is the reason why we do believe that this thing is really strong. No? That is, but still, we are still, this project is still prototype. Things may happen. Ano ba? Now, ArkPad say, as you can see, ayun, nakalutak. But before the launching of the ArkPad say, people are saying, paano ba yan lulutak? Yari sa kukureto, laki-laki dyan. Hindi yan lulutak. It will not flow. Just imagine the size of that was very heavy. It will not flow. But for me, really, I'm confident because of this argument, this principle, it will flow. It can even show you where between the water level of the thing. So the thing is, it was being finished, no? And we want to launch it gusto na namin i-launch. Because before I arrived in Rizal, I did study the, the time. Siyempre, tanong-tanong sa mga bata, kay Pao, tanong ko kay Pao, gano'ng kataas dito ang tubig yung highest side? Ay, sir, abot siya hanggang dito, naabot na kasi hanggang doon. Ano, gano'n po ba? Ay, sabi ko, if I'm going to assemble this ArkPad in this place, if Pao is correct, I can easily launch the ArkPad on water. If he is correct. Naniwala kay Pao, no? Start ako yun. So, during the launching, I am serving the time yung makakarating. Ang baba ng tubig. At doon lang sa baba lagi ang tubig. It splash only, para pag napag i-splash lang sa binti. No? Manapag ito. And we tried several things, several methods on how we can put it on water. Malaki ang ginastos namin dyan. Gumamit kami ng loader na maliit, loader na malaki. Nag-iisip ako gumamit ng reality, there's a suggestion to make use of bulldozer, but I tell them no, it will not work. So, what is the method we use? We use the chain lock. We use only 2 sets of 5-tonner chain lock. And I do really, sabi nga sa Tagalog, sampalataya ako. Boss, mga tao natin dito, matyaga. Kahit gabi, tatrabaho yan, sige, tawan-tawa. Actually, yung mga tao nakapo doon, sorry. Medyo, nabusin na naman ito. Kaya, mga bata, sige. Pasensya na, tutom na kayo. Hindi mo sunod talaga ako. Kaya malaking pasalamat ko sa mga bata yan. Wala sila. That is the reason why, no, nung sa haba ng aming paghihirap, yung pang yung tawag doon, sleepless night. Ang hirap. Binigyan ako ng tubig, hindi bukas. Bakit bukas naman? Kaya ganun po, ano, ang pasalamat sa mga tao ko. Kahit yung marami sa kanila kasawayan. Kahit minsan sasabihin, oh, ano nangyayari dyan? Sen, okay. Alam mo na sa bahay. Tama. Pero, kapag dyan, magaling mga bata yan. Kaya nangyari nga gano'n, ano, yun nung na-launch talaga yan, pag sa kanuwa ko, noon nadala namin sa tubig. Sabi ko bang tagal-tagal na namin simula, January, February, March, April, May, paano ko ito madadala sa tubig? Ano? Pero sa awa ng Panginoon, wisdom. Bisa na naging na ako. Naging na ako, I really, it comes to my mind even though I am sleeping for now to put it in water. But, thanks God, no? Binigyan ako ng isang paraan na panaginipan ko yun. Sabi sa akin, gawin mo ganito, ipapa mo yung iyong floating at yung floating mismo ang mag-aangat doon sa iyong papan. But it needs support at the bottom. So I put those IBC lang below. Kasi ang baba ng tubig eh. Then the launching actually is scheduled a week before pa. But Mitchell called me, Andy, we need to do it tomorrow no matter what. But it is really, I cannot guarantee that I can put this one in water. We need to do. We need to do that one. Because during that day, if ever the says will float, it would be about 6 inches only above sea level. 6 inches above sea level, yung pinakamababa. And if we people by an LCM, bahala kayo noon, bahala ka na. Then it was pulled by the LCM, and very nervous, even though everything was been given to God. So it happened. We managed to pull it on water. What they said, July 27, something like July 27. Yeah, it was being pulled to water on July 27. But the thing is, I thought, mawawala na yung aking worry. I thought, mawawala na yung sleepless night ko kasi wala nang problema kasi nadala ko na sa tubig. Yung pala, mali ako. Mas maraming kaba pag nasa tubig. Just imagine one time, tanda ko sa Kasipaw. Secondly, ang ArkPad nakatakilid. Secondly, yung gano'n, tapos mo siya, Secondly, naguna sa message. At sabi namin na ako, nag-islanin siya kayo, sabi siya. Kasi ginagawa nila doon, if ever they are doing this also, they have to subsidize na gagawin. No, gano'n. Yeah, when these things were brought to water, really, I was really happy. No, I thank God it was been full. And but the thing is, the observation or the worry is still there. Andiyan lagi siya. Whenever there is a this thing, this strong winds, I got no problem with the rain, but with the strong winds, because it happened one time that yung roof boarding lines nag-ikot doon sa ArkPad. So, nasa nakatabi ng pyesa. But I think it was pretty big. Our ArkPad is still floating there, alive, surviving. So, I would like to thank, at this moment, I would like to thank Nabas and you for allowing us to stay, to put our ArkPad here, and also to the Barangay Captain of Rizal, no, for allowing us to stay here. I don't know if we will already cover the parameter, but the thing is, we really appreciate that you accepted us to be in your community, and we continue to do and finish the work that we have been doing here with the fund. And maraming po salamat sa inyo lahat. Pasensya na po. Okay. Ay po sila na.
There you have it. Thank you so much, Sir Andy, for sharing your insights and thoughts about the ArkPad. It was indeed a great job. Well done for you and to your team for this successful project, the ArkPad. A round of applause, please, for Sir Andy. So there you have it, the insights and the information about the ArkPad. So it's so nice to hear that they come up with this kind of project. And the ArkPad is now already at the water floating. So later we're going to experience and you have a tour for the ArkPad in order for you to know what is inside of it. Okay? So at this point, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to the Damas government sector, the DILG, headed again by Mr. LGO 6 Ben Kilo. Thank you so much, sir. And of course, for the MPDC headed by Engineer Johan Ken Wagon, thank you so much for being here. And of course, for the Coast Guard headed by Mark Sarabia. And for the Boracay Water with their representative, Mr. Felizardo Rivera, the former facility manager. And to the Rizal Barangay officials headed by our dynamic barangay captain, Honorable Joe Marie De La Torre. Thank you so much, sir, for allowing us to use the cover gym for this launching of the ArkPad. And also special thanks to the engineers and other personnel behind the creation of the ArkPad. Thank you so much for your hard work. And also to Pampelo for the design earlier to create the venue, this event. And of course, for the Shensi's Cafe, headed by Ma'am Shensi for the food they're going to serve us later. And of course, to everybody, we do hope to continue to work with all of you in the future and also to benefit the local company with the ArkPad. At this point, I'm going to have a video presentation. Am I right, sir? About the archive. So I'm going to read to you the information in each slide about the archive.
As you can see, this is the very first ArkPad that we have constructed, made from 3D printer. After we had the 2D, we brought this one with the 3D printer. And this one is the second scale model that I have did myself. It was been tested in a swimming pool. You can see that picture testing the ArkPad on a swimming pool. And actually, we are doing that so that we can see what would be the behavior if it is already water, it is, if it is load on top of that one. Yeah. So you can see now the behavior and we are studying it that day. We are observing what is the behavior of the animal. See, the picture. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are our happy moments. Unfortunately, we don't have here the video of our, at least only one prototype also made from 3D printer. And this is the start of our work here in Navas. These are the aluminum plates that we have used. These are the 6 mm aluminum grade plates that this is to be used for the floaters. Yeah, all those aluminum is marine grade imported from China. So you can see here, this Annie Franklin doing the layout and yesterday care how do you call it, the floater ring. Yeah. And after making the lines, they're going to cut it with a jigsaw. It is really hard work. It's not easy. We have consumed, I think, the 3 or 4 jigsaws have been broken, a lot of plates. And this is the very first casting of our spark. You can see that the purpose is made of steel. In our concrete here, actually, is what I'm telling you is a 9,000 psi concrete. Yeah, and this is the removal of forms after a few days, after 1 week or 2 weeks. The forms were being removed, and these are our product. When we have finished the 4 or 5 spars, and these are the proteins. You can see the proteins. And instead of which is styro, it's smooth. It is solid actually, it is not hollow. We placed a styro, a piece still fit well. And this one, we are doing it manually when we are setting up when we are assembling everything. Everything is mano-mano. That's why, really, my people, I really thank them, no? Matyaga, minsan lang pasaway. Pinagkalakas pa ko yung cup, ano? Tandway, solve na yan, mga yan. Ano? Yan, this is the very first, during the installation of spar putting in the hole of the dun sa ring. Yeah, we are just using it as 7.5 tonner tray, no? Putting it to the center. And during this moment, I was really very nervous. I'm really very nervous during that moment. But when we managed to put all this column inside, I feel so relaxed, no? Because that is the most dangerous part of the assembly. Yeah. Now, when after putting all the rings, no, we are now started to put all those items on top of the, yeah, on top of that one. So you can see those people welding, everything. Those are all bolted. All the bolts, all the parts, All are aluminum. Everything is aluminum. And now they assembled the ArkPad. You can see how big it is. Ha? Hindi yan ganun kalaki. Nakikita mo yung mga piyesa natin, kung gano'n yung kalalaki, yung ating mga tour package. It is not just, hindi kami naglalaro po. We are not playing on that carpet. We are seriously building this ArkPad so that to make it strong and better. No? So this is the time that we are doing the pulling. The attempted pulling, the attempted launching of this ArkPad. Maraming method kami ginawa. We are just using their pipe tunnel, trench prank, all my workers, si Pao, si Boyen, yeah. And after the end of the day, you can see their hands really nababalkos na. So we have extended all this track up to the level of water. You can see now how big the ArkPad is, no? It is not a small ArkPad that you can see from here. It is that big. That is more than 30 tons, no? So my problem is, how am I going to put it in water? As you can see here, I am starting now to lower down the floating, the ring one. I am putting it now. No, for floating, I need to put it down so that the water can reach that area, so that if ever it reaches the water, it will going to float. No? So they are putting it down slowly, slowly. Yan natin nilalabit. Pero after this one, tanduay, sold na kami. Mga tanduay at saka nitong manok. Cooks, cooks to go. Sold, no? Yan. We are putting it down. It's not easy. Because actually, this is only half tanner. This round thing is only half ton weight. So, as you can see now, the brown one, it is already there. Because the brown one is a bamboo. I need to bamboo wrap around so that the force that need to be exerted with the floating is going to touch the stopper. Whenever it touches the stopper, it will going to float. But this time, this time we are waiting for the high tide. Because my idea here is that I need to reach at least a few inches above. So at this time, they put it on June 27 and July 27, this LCM pulled this ArkPad. No? Matagal na paghihirap na ginawa namin po diyan. No? But I don't know, sabi ko nga, what I'm telling them is, because this is the very first time that we do it, so the second time it will be very easy for me. Because I know already how to do it. But during this next we're still confused. Ask kami, how? So now, it's being pulled. Yan, may harapan. Yung portion na yan, may sumabit sa ilalim, sa concreto. They're pulling it, pulling, until such time, yay. During this, I was crying on that moment. Because finally, it was being pulled to water. But what I'm telling you is that, no, I thought it was the end. It's not. Until such time, these things will go and survive in typhoon. If it survives the typhoon, I can now sleep soundly. Diba? Yan. At that moment, they are removing now the air, removing the air of the IBC tank below, because there is an LBC tank under the air. So you can see now the LBC tank now is floating because they are removing the air. Because the LBC tank helps ARKPAD to be lifted up. Now removing the air, yan, nawala na. Hanggang doon lang yun. Hanggang doon lang. So that is it. Actually now, it is not actually permanent. It's now floating. What you can see now here is yung top lang. It's just like a, how do you call it, iceberg. Mas malaki po yung ilalim kisa nando sa ibabaw. Ano ba? Maliwanag na. Okay po. Maraming salamat sa panonood.
Okay, so there you have it, the creation of the ArkPad again. Thank you so much, Mr. Andy, for telling us the insights and information of the ArkPad. At this point, may I request all the participants who are willing to visit the ArkPad, so please proceed to this side Sino na yun kanina? Who are the person in charge? Who are those personnel that you need to visit the ArkPad? So please proceed to this area.
Yeah.
Where are you now, guys? Yung
Mamaya na
nag-
siguro. Why don't we eat first?
kakain mo na? Okay. Okay, so we need to have lunch first. Okay, I know some of you are excited to taste the food prepared to us by the Shansis Cafe. Okay, so everybody please stand for prayer for meal.
Ma'am, hindi ako dito sa kapatiran mo. Sige mo ako.
Ama namin na may-ari ng aming buhay sa oras pong ito, kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa binigay niyo sa amin na kami po ay nandito lahat para kami po ay ah, experience sa itong proyekto ng ArkPad. Maraming salamat po sa pagkain na pinaprepare po sa Sika. Sana Panginoon ay i-bless mo yung food na aming
carvings and metallic details contribute to the modern look, while a red light buoy adds a safety touch. The vast open water surrounding the house provide a tranquil and isolated setting. So that is the exterior of the on. Now at this point, let us proceed exploring each area of the ArkPad's interior. We will go through the design elements and features area by area, providing you with an in-depth understanding of the space and its functionality. First there is the living area. It gives off a cozy, minimalist vibe with practical furniture choices and simple design elements. Room ceiling has a modern, exposed beam design painted white. This creates a sense of spaciousness and brightness despite the compact area. The walls are painted a light blue, creating a calm atmosphere. This color choice contrasts well with the darker tones of furnitures and helps brighten the living area. The room is designed with a focus on simplicity and functionality, with a set of woven rattan or wicker furniture. These natural materials bring a casual beach-like aesthetic that complements the setting of the house on the water. Attention to the view outside. The window brings a natural light and offers a view of the outside, enhancing the connection to the surrounding water and the outdoor environment. You can see the dining area complements the overall aesthetic of the living space with its simple, functional design and use of natural materials. The design of the table and chairs prioritizing utility while still creating a cozy dining space. The kitchen features a U-shaped layout, maximizing counter space and creating an efficient workflow. The sink is centrally placed in the simple ceiling with visible beams adding a subtle rustic touch. So this is the toilet. And bathroom have a simple clean design with neutral tone marble effect tiles, covering the wall, giving the space a modern feel. The fixtures include a wall-mounted sink, a toilet, and an overhead shower, all arranged efficiently for easy use in a all compact layout. Small windows provide natural light and ventilation, while the frosted glass doors adds privacy. Next, the battery. Using an 8 kilowatt inverter, a 300 AH battery, 7.26 kilowatt hour capacity, and 12 solar panels is an excellent choice for a floating house because it provides energy independence and sustainability. The solar panels generate ample power during the day, and the battery stores enough energy to power house during the night of a clouded periods. This combination ensures reliable, eco-friendly energy for daily operations without relying on external power, which is crucial for remote nature of loading house. Of course, the rooftop. The rooftop of the floating house features a spacious open layout, perfect for outdoor relaxation and activities. Surrounded by security railings for safety, the space offers unobstructed views of the ocean, creating a serene and immense environment. The flooring is designed to be weather resistant, ensuring durability against the elements. With room for setting areas for lounging, it is ideal for enjoying the sea breeze or hosting gatherings. The minimalist design highlights the connection with nature, making it a peaceful retreat over the wall. So there you have it, the interior, the exterior part of the ArkPad C. Okay, so thank you so much. That was the exterior and interior part of the ArkPad C. Okay, at this point, to all who are excited to have a tour to the ArkPad C, please proceed to this area. Sino po yung sasama for the tour?